All right, it's Friday. I survived my iron infusion so far. And I went and got Panera. I got a souffle and a pain chocolat, chocolate croissant. And I went to a coffee shop, Cassidy Station, and got banana bread matcha, delicious and life giving. And then I went to a bar and got a cheeseburger and fries and a Yingling lager. How's your day going so far? So I've taken iron orally. Like I really went hard on trying to take iron for a month, but I don't know. It didn't go well. I don't know. And then I knew that I was going to be a candidate for this, so I just decided to wait until we could get the goods right where they belong. So I had 200 milligrams of iron pumped right into my veins and only 800 to go. Yeah, I can't look at screens. I've noticed even when I was taking it orally, I tend to get like vertigo. But I honestly do think whenever I got vertigo last summer after I was carrying too much load helping my ex move, whenever I got vertigo, then I think it injured me somehow. And I mean, I don't think, in my case, I don't really think my vertigo was caused by those little rocks in your ears that get off center. Like, I mean, maybe, but I don't think so because I got vertigo once on shrooms when I was talking to Kyle, and I think that was like a signal of how Kyle affects my nervous system. And I never did shrooms like around him after that. I only did them by myself. Right. So anyway, I figured I would just do another tarot reading. I think yesterday's went great. Yeah. So let's do that. I actually thought I might try to catch up on some more work, like of my actual job that I get paid for, but there's no way I can handle looking at screens. So I'm glad I took the whole day off. Trying to take it easy. Chill out now. All right. I'm Jolene. Welcome to Lunch Break Tarot. Yeah, if something I say resonates, please like and subscribe. Let's get on with your reading. Okay. Temperance. What would you benefit from knowing about before it happens? It's a new moon today. Okay, we've got, that's interesting because I forgot to read this yesterday. It came out yesterday and I forgot to read it. Seven of Pentacles, the Lovers in reverse, the Magician in reverse, the Star in reverse, Strength, Eight of Wands in reverse, Justice, Knight of Pentacles, and Six of Pentacles in reverse. All right. Whew. Forgot all my little creature comforts, my little inhalers from Madison Green and my fidget spinners. Oh yeah, do you like my makeup? I decided to do some fiery orange because it's the Aries new moon and there's that stellium in Aries right now. So yeah. All right. So we have temperance. So this honestly did come out reversed. I just didn't want to read it that way. So I'm just going to go ahead and flip it back reversed. I have no idea what temperance. Let's be lazy. Also, I had a beer. That's probably not a good idea. Father, Mother, God, please be with me as I do this reading. Please make sure all of my insights and downloads are in line with the highest good. Please watch over me and my audience and Banish any entities that would take advantage of anyone here. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Okay. That beer didn't make me, like, normally I'm a lightweight, but I'm not even remotely buzzed. I wonder if having more iron in your blood makes you more down to earth. I felt like heavier. I know that 200 milligrams, it's not like the literal weight of the iron, but I think it energetically pulled me back into my body more. Anyway, temperance in reverse. There she blows. So this is the Cat Full of Spiders deck. It's pretty fun. The guidebook, anyway. 10 wands with unlimited power were created. Yeah, this is temperance. I was like, 10 wands? 10 wands with unlimited power were created from a mysterious meteorite. Interesting, because iron. And used to form the city of Neon, which was intended to forever be an egalitarian utopia. However, things went awry when the wands fell into greedy hands that used them to oppress and control the citizens of Neon. Sound familiar? Temperance reversed indicates an imbalance in your life that needs to be corrected. That was the vibe I got. Are you focusing too much on one area of life at the expense of others? I don't really like this interpretation because this one doesn't leave room for spontaneity and it's not traditional. But I do think that it indicates an imbalance that needs to be corrected. Anyway, perhaps there's a personal dynamic with someone in your life that's created a power imbalance. Prioritize restoring equilibrium to get things back on track. Well, this is in the past, and I certainly relate to this. You know, when you have to give your power away, and maybe you fawn, or maybe you grovel and then you hate yourself and then you vow never again. The fact that it's coming up with work kind of indicates that. Like this is in this context giving your power away too, and just feeling like, I don't know, fatigued and unfulfilled, sad, melancholy about it. The Lovers in reverse. That's in the past too. So, I mean, this doesn't always have to be in a romantic context, but that's, yeah. I think I'm just going to read it that way. Sorry. It's so this is obviously like undoing of the Lovers, and it's in the past. So there was an imbalance, power imbalance, and put too much strain on you. And because of that, the relationship had to end. I guess it could be a relationship, it doesn't have to be romantic. Some people are in that kind of trauma bond type stuff with their parents or with their kids, grown kids. All right, we got the Magician in the present. We've got the Magician in reverse, the Star in reverse, and Strength upright. So, I mean, this is in the present. So, I mean, this kind of seems like there's not much action happening when it comes to manifesting. Yeah, I mean, I feel like this sometimes. I was kind of feeling like this last night and I didn't know why, but this is when you've lost all hope and I mean, you just want to give up. Um, yeah, that's like a tough spot to be in. I mean, yeah, this feels like because of the power imbalance that somebody else is crimping your power, your personal power. So even though like there's a power imbalance in the past, and even though that's over, you sometimes still feel like they have power over you and they're blocking the flow of what you would be able to manifest in your life. Okay. And that makes you feel hopeless sometimes. But as usual, you find the strength within, because what else are you going to do? Life goes on. You're a powerful soul. You're never given more than you can handle. And you find your strength and fortitude within. Love that. All right, the Eight of Wands is in reverse. So this is upright. It's about action and news. Normally, news would be an air quality and swords, but for some reason, the wands, the Eight of Wands in this case, there's something mercurial about it. So this particular wands card does have something to do with news coming in quickly, but since it's in reverse, there's a block to communication coming up in the future. Yeah, and communication is slow going. Okay, and then we've got Justice, and it's upright. So what is wrong will be made right. The Justice card is amazing, because even when you are self-sabotaging to the max, at some point justice comes in to balance the scales. And that's coming up soon in the future. I think too, this Eight of Wands in reverse could be about sometimes when we ruminate and have ideation, it's because a bunch of people are thinking negatively about us, and negativity crimps our life force, and it also causes us to feed it, like with our ruminating thoughts. And this being in reverse in the context of the Justice card means that this is being thwarted. Kind of like my prayer at the beginning, making sure that, the forces, the powers that be, when you call upon them and ask for help, nothing has more power than Jesus over this world. Like even siddhis and masters and gurus of other traditions, not just Christianity, know, because Jesus came down to earth and paid the price of our sins, he has domain over this world. He bought us. He bought us in a good way. Yeah. In this reality, there's a lot of oppression, because you only have so much power. And so if someone's going to have more power over you, you want it to be a benevolent force, and that is Jesus. All right. And then the Knight of Pentacles, which this is getting your pep back in your step a little at a time. This is solid ground. No more flailing, no more spiraling. It's not necessarily like, a King of Pentacles, but it is like no more vertigo. If you have that equivalent in your life, it doesn't have to be the way I get it, which is literally physically, but anything that feels like a whirlwind in your life, this is the storm stops, the funnel lifts off the ground and leaves a blue sky. And then we got kind of a bonus extra card, and this is this is reciprocity in reverse. I'm gonna have to clarify that. I think I'll just leave it for now, because I'm gonna get a second layer for all of these cards. All right. Well, I said it. I got Ace of Pentacles, and I got, okay. I don't know. I'm just gonna put the Ace of Pentacles. Did I? I got out so many, and now I don't know where to put them. I don't know, I was gonna do that, and then I felt like I shouldn't. I'm gonna put the Ace of Pentacles on Temperance. And maybe I'll read all of those. I got the Empress, clarifying the Seven of Pentacles. The Moon in reverse, clarifying the Lovers in reverse. Is this deck upside down? Whatever. And then the Nine of Cups, clarifying the Magician in reverse. All right, let's get some more. What have we got? I feel like I'm just gonna, you know what? I am flipping this. All right, let's see if that helps us. All right, clarify the rest of the spread, please. All right, we got King of Swords in reverse, clarifying the Star in reverse. I even flipped the deck, so what can you do? Reversals are going to reverse. It's a new moon. So, okay, we got the Hangman right up. We got the upside down guy right up, so if that isn't persistent. That feels like validation too about all these reversals. All right, clarify the Eight of Wands in reverse. And the rest of the spread. All right, Six of Wands in reverse. We had that last night, upright, if you remember. Flip it again, see if that helps. It's so wild if we get more reversals after this. Ace of Swords in reverse. What are you going to do? Well, it's a new moon, so that's a time for things to be hidden. Nine of Swords in reverse is clarifying the Knight of Pentacles. All right. Yeah. Okay, so Ace of Pentacles upright is clarifying Temperance. So this was in the recent past. So you got an offer of stability to rebalance the power imbalance in the past. So this allowed you to take your power back because you got this offer of stability. And then that allowed you to have sovereignty over your life and stop giving to someone that had power over you that could never be fed. And then their secrets and lies went with them. They couldn't create chaos in your nervous system anymore when they left. Yeah. All right, and then we've got the nine of cups in reverse, clarifying the Magician in reverse. The Nine of Cups upright is liking who you are. So right now there's a new moon in Aries, and Aries is great for liking who you are and not wanting to be anyone else. Libra is the opposite. I'm a Libra rising. I know a lot of you guys said you had a lot of placements in Libra. Libra is the opposite of Aries. And so that is, Libras tend to be prone, their shadow side anyway, especially if Pluto's involved, like it is in my case. Got Saturn there too. And Jupiter. Just not to toot my own horn, but Jupiter just makes those malefics kind of bigger though, especially because Saturn is exalted in Libra, which is good. I mean, if you're going to have Saturn on your ascendant, might as well be exalted there. But yeah. So, I mean, this is very Libran from not traditionally, but if Nine of Cups being right up is liking who you are and not wanting to be anyone else, Nine of Cups in reverse is like Pink's song, Don't Let Me Get Me. And it's losing yourself, not wanting to, oh my gosh, I'm super getting it now. A lot of reasons we give our power away is because of learned helplessness in childhood and feeling like we don't believe that we can make it, and so we don't want to even try. And so because of the past and the power imbalance. And even though it's over, like in the present, you've still got some, you're feeling like they're still affecting you and crimping your forward momentum. And you're not feeling, how do I say that? You just don't feel like you're a solid self yet. Like, I don't know, there's some kind of a setback with your pride. Okay, and then King of Swords in reverse is clarifying the sword or the star. So wild having all these reversals. Goodness, guess I need a challenge. So you were feeling hopeless because you didn't have your forward momentum. You also, yeah, you just didn't feel like you didn't feel like you had enough pride to not just not just that your inner fire was kind of dampened, but your personality was too. Your sense of self was dampened, and that made you feel hopeless. And then the King of Swords in reverse. Yeah, I mean, this is like not having clarity at all, and could be self delusion too. Let me get some help on the reverse King of Swords. Although logic and sensibility are admirable qualities in a leader, it's important not to lose touch with emotion and compassion. Okay, so just not being in touch with your heart. But I mean, the King of Swords is already kind of like that. The evil warlock knights don't care who they hurt in their quest to conquer land. Reversed, the King of Swords represents a harsh, unyielding leader reminiscent of the warlocks who will not stop at absolutely nothing to who will stop at absolutely nothing to achieve their goals, regardless of the cost to others. Man, even before I got to that cost to others line, I already was getting this. So the lesson that you've learned because of the power imbalance is that you're never again going to be in a relationship with someone who doesn't feel pained by your pain. Someone who only is motivated by their own consequences, but they don't seem to have any, like, your pain doesn't affect them and they don't change no matter, like, it could literally be killing you and they're unaffected and they can't change. Like, that's how they are. And you have learned, one, that some people are like that. Some people genuinely do not have empathy. And you have learned that you are never going to put your life in someone's hands again. You're never going to lose your, you're never going to give your power away, your magic, or your pride, your dignity, your sense of self. You're never going to trade that for someone who will make you feel hopeless because of how much they can take. All right, talk about swords. All right, swords of truth. Okay, and then the Hanged Man is clarifying strength. So the Hanged Man is about having a different perspective after a period of forced downtime. And this strength was you were finding your strength after feeling hopeless and ruminating and wanting to give up. You found your strength. You got in touch with your heart. You courage, the courage of a lion. And I love that what's clarifying it is upright. It's the Hanged Man. It's an upside down man, but it is an upright card. And so that's like the highest virtue of this archetype. Let's get some help on it. Let's see, the Hanged Man. Are the this I feel like this kind of makes it disjointed when I take it out of our story and put it in the City of Neon. It makes it a little disjointed, but what are you gonna? I'll just skim it so I don't do that to you. If you find yourself captured, stuck, or delayed, don't despair. Use this moment to survey the situation and formulate a plan. Taking an unscheduled break may aid you in seeing things from a helpful new perspective. Well, I think when you're finding your strength and courage after a long period of hopelessness and lack of potency and dignity, yeah, this is being strategic. And one of my strengths is my top 5 strengths on StrengthsFinder Gallup poll or whatever that is being strategic. If you want to know, I want to tell you, okay? Because I'm a Leo sun and I'm a Leo moon, and so I like to talk about myself. But my top 5 strengths are intellection, strategic, connectedness, developer, and relator. What do you think? Anyway, I'm a Leo too. So strength is the Leo card. This is not about me. This is about the archetypes, but I don't know, thinking about myself there. So yeah, this is basically coming up with strategic ways to never get yourself in that position again. Finding your strength after hopelessness and being like, all right, we are not going to do that again. We are not going to do that again. How can we, what's causing it? How can we make this never happen again? I've gotten really good at feeling my feelings lately, just like recognizing them. They're way easier to feel. But sometimes there's something in my body that seems like it has a life of its own. And I don't know if it's like the pain body that Eckhart Tolle talks about, but for me, it feels like it is an outside influence. I feel like it's in my body and it doesn't have my well being at heart, and paying attention to it does not seem to remedy it. And I feel like it's like causing me to have numbness and like nerve damage back here. That's sometimes when I get hopeless is when that thing is happening, and it has like a intense charge. And sometimes I'm thinking like, what is this from? Is this from people judging me? Is this because I still have some kind of tether to Kyle? Because I don't know if you noticed in the devil card, but they have leashes around their necks, and I don't know. That's what it feels like. It feels like I have an energetic leash around my neck that is choking out my life force, and I hate it. And some things make it worse. Anyway, all right. So we've got the 6 of Wands clarifying the 8 of Wands. Both of those are in reverse. So what did we say the 8 of Wands was? It was, okay, yeah, justice coming into. Oh, I have a bird that keeps hitting my window because it's reflective. I think the logger is slowing down my brain. So this is benevolent forces coming in to keep the negativity at bay, keep the negativity from reaching you. But this is getting you out of the spotlight, and this is coming up in the future. This is you taking yourself out of the public eye, so other people's tethers don't stick to you for a while. And that's probably like what you learned from being in the hangman position for a while. The strategy you came up with was stop oversharing and stop being in the public eye for a while. I don't know. That's interesting. Okay, then we have the Ace of Swords in reverse. Clarifying justice. Ace of Swords in reverse. All right, I don't do reversals a lot. Ace of Swords. There's a bunch of TV shows. I don't want to tell you which ones because I don't want you spoiling it, but there's some TV shows that I'm waiting until all 10 or 12 episodes get released so I can binge it all at once. I don't have to think about it all week for God knows how long. But I can't wait until all of those are done. I don't know what made me think about that. Ace of Swords. Forgot to lock my screen door. It's about to blow open. You guys like this view? I figured I got a window right here for light and that you guys can see a little bit. Okay, it's in reverse. The Ace of Swords suggests that you don't quite have the clarity you need to take the, okay, so lack of clarity. You don't quite have the clarity you need to take the first steps on a new journey. You need a little more time to plan and gather more information before you feel confident setting out. An important task awaits, so hasten your preparations. I mean, what have you been kind of aiming towards? This is saying you don't have clarity about it. Like, and maybe that's why you're not getting the results you want, is because you lack clarity. And so like you keep trying, and it's just not going well. Or going, it's not that it's going bad, it's just not having the reciprocity. It's not giving as much as you're putting into it. Now I kind of understand this, the extra bonus card we got. Yeah, you're not getting back what you're putting in because you don't have clarity. Hey, you know what? The good readings, the ones where everything is positive and going well, wouldn't be as sweet if it wasn't for readings where there's like almost 18 reversals. Okay, and then we have the Nine of Swords in reverse, clarifying the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles was that offer of stability that like kind of made things stop spinning. Like this was the steady, like the Knight of Pentacles is the only knight that's standing still. And I absolutely love that. I mean, stillness when you're spinning, that's all you can hope for. And yeah, what do you know? Like that puts an end to like the rumination, the like fearing, like just kind of being a, yeah, I mean, you know how the nature of thoughts, how they just, and the more awake you get, the less you believe in them. They're not sticky anymore. They don't have an effect on you. You get inside of the eye of the storm. There you are, that you're this steady knight with his pentacle standing in the middle, and the thoughts are spinning and they don't have any effect on you. So that's interesting that you don't, because this comes after not having clarity. So not only do you get stability to stop having vertigo, but you get to be in the perfect position to get clarity. Okay. All right. Well, let's see what is like. I don't. And sometimes when I do this, I get a whole bunch of cards, and I'll take them. If half the deck falls out, I'll take them and do a rapid fire. I think that's fun. Okay, so is there an overall card that's for this whole reading? I know we had like the reciprocity. That was, that'll probably be something. But anyway, yeah. Is there? Okay, there we go. We got some. Okay, so this is deliberating between two impossible choices. This is public failure. Oh my God, we got these last night, and I shuffled a lot. This is the offer, like an offer of that will lead to fulfillment, like something that you like, your heart's deepest desire. This is an offer coming in after deliberating and after seeming public failure. An offer comes in that is your heart's deepest desire, and that puts an end to. Interestingly, in this case, you're not giving your power away anymore. No more of that leash around your neck. No more of that tether to someone who would siphon you off until you die. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not exaggerating. And then you get your groove back. Look at you all high and mighty, like having fun again. Let me get some clarity on the Knight of Wands because I don't want to let my bias get in the way, because Knight of Wands, it's non-committal. Let me just get some clarity on that real quick. Sometimes when I'm using my left brain to get clarity, my right brain gets unattached enough to show me something unique. Knight of Wands. Oh my gosh. Hey, at least you can see my pretty eyeshadow. Wait, doesn't it? Oh, there we go. I got it. All right. Upright. Angela feels energized and emboldened by the important task the cat witches have entrusted her with. She has to sow the seeds of dissent to stir up a revolution that will turn the corrupt city of Neon on its head. The Knight of Wands represents someone who puts real action behind inspiration. You have an idea you're passionate about. Make your move. Your vision deserves the chance to become reality. That's interesting. So, after you get this fulfilling offer that is your heart's desire, puts you in a position to where you never have to give your power away again, then you actually become a leader in the world. And yeah, you're in your Dharma. You're in your Dharma. That's epic. And when you're in your Dharma, you're protected because you're in alignment with God's will. Basically, you're doing what you were put on the earth to do. Even when you're not doing what you were put on the earth to do, you're still doing it because you're also learning lessons and having karmic contracts and all that stuff. But this looks like getting to the point where you're in your Dharma. And some people are in their Dharma their whole lives, but sometimes this reading is about the people who took a harder path. They went off course a little bit. But the benefit, what is gained from going off course, is that when you finally come back to alignment, you have your pyramid of strength is epically large compared to if you only, like if you followed your blueprint to a T, you know, that would have been a lot less suffering, but you also wouldn't be as epically strong as you are because you went off the path and came back. Is the prodigal son. It's the prodigal son. All right, that was pretty good. I don't know. I never know what's going to come in these readings. It's so like, what? Crazy. Okay. Well, that was your reading. I hope you liked it. Again, if I said anything that resonated, please let me know by liking and subscribing. Yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. Put them in the comments. Let me know how this fit you if you want. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.